So we all filmed in a bathroom like this before, or at least tried to film in a bathroom like this before, but it's very hard to do so because of the reflections here and all around. And when you put your camera somewhere, you see the camera in here. But what if I told you we're going to make this as cinematic as possible? What if I told you that I have the camera planted right now in a spot that you can't see?
Okay, before we start this video, I just want to say that I sound condescending as all hell, and I am sorry that if I come off that way. So please keep watching. Hopefully I don't. It's just hard to do intros and to think about what I want to say because this was, again, spur of the moment. I just wanted to really figure out how to light this, if I ever in this situation, light a bathroom like this. So this is one way. It's not like the perfect way. I mean, I do want to try more methods, but other than that, I think it worked out. So let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments also what scenario you like the best, and I'll go over these in the video. So without further ado, let's go on. Okay, so here we are in the bathroom. We're on the FX6 with the 135mm lens from Rokinon. Basically, this is just the house lights. This is just the lighting that we have in the bathroom. My wife got these bulbs that she really likes, and she says it's the best lighting that she's had. And I totally agree. It's really even lighting. So after this, I kind of was like, okay, let's turn these off and let's bring in the Pablo bulb 10C. So what I did was I tried to make it a magnet, and from there it worked, but it fell, as you see there. And then I'm trying to put the top of the bulb on, which I kind of broke, I think. So what I do next is I decide to unscrew that bulb right there, and then to at least unscrew the rest of the bulbs, but I don't have to take them out. I just have to unscrew them enough that they just need to be not working when you turn the lights on. So I'm just going down the line, and I'm just going to basically unscrew all these bulbs and double check that they're all unscrewed. So as you see, I'm doing that. I'm checking for my unscrewing errors. So we're going to keep unscrewing these. Yay, almost there. Now, what's great about the Pablo bulb 10C and just the Pablo bulb in general is that there's no real internal battery for it. There's just, if you screw it into a light socket, it will run off the light socket power. It fits in most bulbs that electrical light outlets that it works. But also, you can use USB-C and it will have a battery that way. There's adapters for it as well too. Here I am now trying to get the app to work with the Pablo bulb. I don't know why it's not working. It was just being stupid, so I had to reset it, which is resetting the Bluetooth, where I'm going to go in now and touch the 3 buttons on the bulb itself to see the blue light that's popping up. So that's me connecting it to my phone now. So it now works. And now I have the iPad here to use for my Axoon CineView 2. So here we go. We're going to put the iPad up so it can at least work and I can see myself over in the bathroom because I have to have the Bluetooth connected to the Pablo bulb. So I can't really check with the CineView, and I don't want to deal with like multiple connections and stuff like that. Well, I'm dealing with multiple connections, but you know, life as a person of video production, you all understand the struggle most likely. Like anyone else, you're trying to do multiple things with multiple different apps, multiple different devices. Now, the Axoon app wasn't working, weirdly enough, with my iPad at this moment, so I literally had to bring my iPad closer to my CineView, and this is a very rare thing that it does this stuff, but like, I don't know. There's a problem with, I don't understand why Wi-Fi pops up, it takes longer to pop up, and it shouldn't. It should just be there theoretically right there. All right, now we have the light at 100%, and then we're gonna check out. I'm just seeing what it looks like on the iPad, making sure it looks right, trying to figure out a feel. So, oh, my bald ass head, 35 and going bald. Gotta love it. This is why I wear hats, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, checking the green and magenta shift. It's just seeing what it looks like, just seeing what kind of feel it does. All right, feeling good about that. I think we're going to lock it in pretty soon. Okay, hat backwards. I put the hat backwards because it's easier to light the face. So here we go. Here's the Pablo bulb. This is what it looks like. I put a neutral FX 6 LUT on there from Phantom LUTs. So this is the Phantom LUT, and I did auto color correction to this just because I was lazy. So I'm going to be honest there. But this is what it looks like. It looks pretty good. I mean, it's pretty dark, not going to lie. But I like how the lighting looks. And what was cool is like, if I open this, you don't really see the camera unless I stop. If you stop at a certain frame, you'll see it. But like, it's so quick, the movement, that you won't see it. And that was really cool. That was really nice to know that opening that cabinet door, that medicine cabinet, you don't see that. So now after that test, I was like, well, let's try something else. Like, I'm not fully happy with that. I think with the Pablo bulbs themselves, I would need more, and I would have to test out an array and literally just put them all into the sockets and then just theoretically go one by one and see which works the best. Like, maybe the lighting would look better if it was at the other end with another at two ends, or like one in the middle and then one at the end. Like, there's a lot to think about when doing that. I think that's something I would love to look into more, is having more of those bulbs to just fool around with more sockets and like do things where I can at least mess with different like dimnesses and all that stuff. Because again, like if I had the whole array where all those bulbs are, I could easily just dim that all down to one and see what that looks like, and then maybe dim one down to one down to three, one down, like step increases and see what that's like. So here I am now with the the Nanlite 60B. I have it bouncing against the wall in the bathroom. So here it looks pretty. This light looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan of this. It's looking pretty nice. Has some nice shadow, has some nice but I mean, this is decent. This is a pretty good mood lighting, trying to give some moodiness to this look, just trying to see what works best in each scenario, right? So even that, like, again, you can see the light though, but I don't know. I mean, honestly, I wasn't 100% sure on this. I mean, as much as I like it now, looking back at it, I like it more. Also, fun fact, I didn't know you can lock the knobs, Forzas. I didn't know you can lock them. So if you want, unlock it and lock it, just hold in the one button. It would be the one that is not the dial knob to brighten and lower the color temperature or dimness. Now I also put the bulb to 100. This is a more even feel because of the reflections of light and stuff like that. But it's nice as well. It's kind of like the first thing when we have just all the bulbs on, the house lights on. So I'm not mad at this either, but it doesn't give me mood. It doesn't give me it gives me a certain vibe where it feels like too clean. Holy moly, there's a lot of green coming from when you open that cabinet now. So after that, I decide, well, I have the spotlight. Let's bring that in. So we bring in the spotlight. I'm going to turn on the house lights, and we'll go from there. So spotlight's intact. Got that. And going to put that on there. But the one thing that was the problem with the spotlight is, where do I put this? Like, how do I place this down on the floor, on the damn counter? That was my big issue, and that was fun just trying to figure that out. That, like, so I do that. I'm doing this. I'm just this is fun. This is just me thinking, like, I thought about putting a light stand in there too, but I'm like, well, the problem is if I bring this light stand in, you're going to see it. So I think something that I kind of want to maybe think about later on in the future, and just in general, if you're going to try to put it on a counter like that, there are, I think, wooden flats that have pins on them. And I don't know how expensive they are, but I think those would be super beneficial and helpful. I mean, you have to get a longer pin or create one like that where you can put a longer pin on there. Because again, using that, I can't really tilt up as well. Like, I can't tilt up higher and stuff like that. So there's ways to make this work better. So this is just me trying to figure out the best lighting scenario, or the best way of how the light will look. So that's the one thing that I was trying to figure out the most, is how does the light look when it's bounced at these areas, like in the corner, and on the actual like wall itself, in the corner of the wall. Like, just trying to figure that out was just fun. I think also too, I think maybe, now thinking about it, maybe using the iris as well and kind of dialing that in to make the light beam smaller might be actually just as helpful too, and give a nicer look, a more moodier feel as well. So I'm holding that up. It's not the greatest scenario, but it doesn't work in that regard. So I'm going to move that. Pretty sure, not really feeling that one. I mean, it's just me testing it before I even record, because I'm like, I don't know how I feel. My mind is just like, okay, where do I put this that I can't, like, that I can just dial it and I can hold it. I don't have to hold it. I mean, so I'm just trying to figure out how to position that correctly and properly. And like, okay, well, if I aim at this wall, how do I do that? Okay, and I'm using the Bowens mount itself. I should use, I'm not thinking about, I should use the bag, but I'm not thinking about that in the time. It's always when it's after you do something, you're thinking, oh, I should have did that. But now, looking at myself and seeing myself do this, I'm like, oh, I'll just try the bag next time, or try something other than the Bowman's hyper reflector. So that's me holding it up, trying to bounce it off the ceiling or more towards the window, but I'm getting some light into the window. So not the window, sorry, the mirror. So I wasn't really feeling that. I think the best course of action was actually aiming it at the other end of the sink. So that's what I do. It looks really bright, but then again, this is the GoPro as well. So yeah, I think that this one I like. I honestly think this one is the best, my favorite one, to be honest. So I like this mood the best. So here it is. Here is this mood, this vibe. Is that what the kids are calling it nowadays? I thought I moved the camera also, so I wasn't too sure if I was in the same position. So it's kind of like the 135 is tight, but is it too tight? I'm not in frame. See, this is me going back to, did I move it? I felt like I did, but I don't think I did. So it's kind of funny to see that and just go, did I move this? And you're like, no, I didn't move it. And then go, is there a ghost in my house? But then no one moved it. But I was like, oh, the GoPro might have moved it because the GoPro fell over at one time. So the spotlight's was my favorite so far. But let me know what you think below in the comments, what your favorite one is, what your favorite look is, what each look tells you, what each look feels to you, what vibe does it give you, what mood does it go for you. So yeah, guys, that's this video in a nutshell. I'm just trying to test out some lighting and see what I can pull off, lighting and angles, to see how I can get around to filming reflections and a bathroom like that, because there's a lot of bathrooms. I'm in Vegas, so I'm just going to use Vegas as the example. There's a lot of bathrooms in Vegas that have, sinks like that, the double sink with the long mirror and the mirror on the side, the medicine cabinet. So when you're filming something, sometimes it's like, well, how do we film around that? How do we get that to a spot where there's no reflection, and we can get that, and there is some reflection. You see the camera, but very briefly, you have to blink. It's a blink and you'll miss it. When you move the medicine cabinet. So I think I'm just trying to figure out a way to do that. And also just figuring out what's the furthest lighting we can go with that too. It's more or less, how do we light that, right? How do we light the space as well? What can we get away with? Because that's another thing too. I mean, what happens when I'm a little wider? That's the other thing. Maybe I'll do this again, but with a wider lens to see what we can do there. Maybe with a 50 or even with the 85, seeing what those two, the 85 might have a little bit more of a, or it might 24 to 70. Because again, I was at 5.6 the whole time with that lens on. So I wasn't even opened up all the way and all that stuff. So it gives different feels when you start opening up your iris. But I look pretty good. I like the way I was going for. So again, thinking about this overall, it's a nice learning experience. And I think I'd want to do that again and try a different way and see where we can go from that. And doing that, it's taught me to go, okay, well, I know what I can do now and where to place the camera next time I'm in a situation like that. Hopefully, the room is kind of the same if you're in that situation. So yeah, that's the video, guys. That's me just trying to show you how I lit the space of my bathroom. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe. And again, comment below if you want, give me your thoughts about what lighting scenario you like best.